she was charged with sexual abuse of a minor. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been gone for quite some time. I understand that, but I have a perfectly beautiful explanation for that, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's get into what I came here to talk to all you about today. Y'all. Now, before I even get into the story, I want everybody to understand that when I first started telling stories here on YouTube about some of the experiences that I've had as a nurse in healthcare, so many people were like, that doesn't happen. That's crazy. A nurse would never. Listen, not every individual on God's green earth is a bad person. Not everyone is a good person. Some people are trying to figure out who they are. And because of that, you have to approach every single individual, every circumstance with caution, with wisdom. You can't dive headfirst in. That goes for everything in life, okay? Including healthcare professionals. I hate to break it to y'all, but not all of them are good, okay? Weird things do happen. That being said, have y'all heard of Von Yates? Am I saying that correctly? These glasses are irritating behind my ear. Anyways, Von Yates, a nurse, or she once was a nurse. I'll tell you why she's no longer a nurse. Sometime ago. This individual had her license stripped for a very interesting reason. Unfortunately, she was charged with sexual abuse of a minor. And that's unfortunate. It certainly is. I'm just trying to do my absolute best to approach the situation with a sincere sense of sincerity. But also, the reality of the situation is this happens. And just being a healthcare professional doesn't make you a trustworthy person. I hate to even say that, but it's the truth. So the 15-year-old boy that she was taking advantage of was her stepson. And the most unfortunate component is that he was the one recounting exactly what happened. And even more, it just keeps getting worse and worse, guys. Her husband caught them in the act. And one of the things that the 15-year-old boy stated that she said was, before she started to undress and proceed with the act, I wish you were 18. You're only 15. How? What? Let's just go ahead and list all of the things that were disregarded here. And there's just way too much more to this situation that makes it significantly more sad. One, it doesn't matter whether he was 15, 18, 50, 25, it doesn't matter. You are married to his father. Okay? She put her other kids to bed and then smoked with this 15-year-old. And they snuggled up and watched movies. And she proclaimed with her lips and tongue to this 15-year-old boy that she was horny. Yes. And you know, honestly, because I think back to nursing school and I think back to everything that I went through to become a nurse, and it makes me wonder, before a healthcare professional who worked really hard to get their licensing, to become a registered whatever, do y'all think like I worked too hard for this? Like, there has to be, for me at least, there's a component of fear to make an irrational decision, and that would ultimately lead to me losing everything. Everything. She's not going to prison for life. There's a massive amount of probation and there is prison time, but eventually she will be free and she'll have to completely reinvent herself. There is no revisiting nursing. Her license was stripped. That being said, the 15-year-old boy, amidst his recounting the event, stated that once his father, her husband, saw what they were doing, she said to the husband, as an excuse, as an explanation as to why she was taking part in this act, that his son looked so much like him when he was younger, and she could not help herself. And, you know, I hope that you guys are also taking a look at the little snippets that I'm posting on the side of my screen here, where it says in the article what is actually taking place. Feel free to pause, get a screen grab, take a look at it. I'm going to post a link in the caption. Speaking of links, I'm also going to post the link to my campaign, because I am doing a campaign to bring my animated teaser into a full movie. The teaser is beautiful, delicious, delectable. The little snippet is down here. It looks amazing. Click the link below, and if you're feeling generous, pretty please donate. Any little bit counts. Anyways, that all being said, it's a pretty unfortunate circumstance, and I am grateful to hear that this 15-year-old boy was responding to it appropriately, maturely. It still sucks. It's still not something that I would say, you know, good for him. You know, you shouldn't have to recover from your stepmother trying to sleep with you. At 15, you may not have and this is not me in any way, shape, or form trying to question the young boy's intellect. We're talking about development, natural biological development. Just like how when some people say a very young child is not old enough to process the loss of a loved one, whether it be a parent or a guardian, sometimes I don't feel, not sometimes, biologically, scientifically, the frontal lobe is not fully developed. And as a result, it prevents you from fully being able to process the seriousness of a matter. And that's why teenagers make strange decisions. But that's exactly why it's easy for an adult who has a fully developed frontal lobe to be deemed foul for taking advantage of a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope I'm making a good point. The point that I'm trying to make is, right now, he's not necessarily able to process it the way I guess what I'm trying to say is his full processing could lead to issues. And I feel that him being so young and him being able to just look at it and confront it for what it is also a large part of him not truly being able to process the full seriousness of it. It's still an unfortunate situation, but because of how unfortunate it is, you have no choice but to look at the positive components. And, you know, this might seem like I'm pulling at straws here, but what else are you going to do? No parent wants to hear that their child was seduced by their partner. And you know, another thing, if the sexes were different, if this was a man coming on to a young woman, I feel like there would have been an upheaval, an uproar. People would have still been talking about this. This would have been everywhere. It's wrong, regardless of your sex. This is devastating on so many components, like in so many avenues, from so many different angles. Imagine coming home to find your partner trying to sleep with your child. I am grateful to hear that this is not something that's being brushed under the rug, that this is not something that's being ignored, because I feel that it does happen often. Unfortunately, when women are the attacker, it doesn't get as much attention. It's not taken as seriously. And I'm glad that this is a situation that is being taken seriously. She is being reprimanded, disciplined, trialed. It's not like a, oh, well, she probably, or maybe she didn't, or maybe she was just, no. If you guys will take a look at the article, there is a part where it says she removed her underwear and proceeded with the act. There is no maybe. There's no confusion. She knew what she was doing. Cut it out. I don't want to hear it. There's no excuse. So it is unfortunate. Again, I'm choosing to look at the components of this situation that, you know, I'm able to pull positive from, because the negative has already taken place. We can't go back. All of that being said, I certainly do hope she has learned her lesson. And on a significantly brighter note, make sure you guys check out my campaign. Take a look at the teaser. It turned out beautifully. Working with Spoof Animation, it looks amazing, guys. It looks amazing. Thank you so much for all your support thus far and your patience. I will do my darndest to keep up with these posts, but like I said, your girl's been busy. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Subscribe, purchase my comic book, show your girl love. I appreciate it. Thanks.